I'm taking this old piece of leaf spring and forging it into a Bowie knife. And to make it stand out, I'll finish it off with a stacked handle made from nickel, silver, G10, maple, and axis deer antler. Let's get started. So I have this old set of Jeep leaf spring, came off a Jeep. Picked it up out of my deer lease. Got a couple of these sets of leaf spring. Probably can make 20 knives or so out of this. It's got a bolt going through, all rusted, so I had to cut that off so I could get a piece of the leaf spring out. So got a piece out that looked like it would work, put it in the forge, heated it up, and started forging out my knife. Leaf springs curved a little bit, so first thing I did was to try and flatten it out. Then I started forging out the tip. This leaf spring is tapered on both edges, so just flattening out that taper. There I'm just putting in a couple of notches where I'm going to have my ricasso start. And I took it over to my other anvil and my hardy cutoff tool and cut off the excess. So got that excess steel cut off, and then I started forging out the tang. After the forging was done, I normalized at 1600 Fahrenheit and let it cool in air. From there, I put it on the surface grinder, got a good flat surface on both sides, and then I did the profiling. I tapered the tang on all four sides for a good guard fit up. So here's this knife after coming off the surface grinder and getting the profiling done. So the best guess on this type of steel is 5160. Next step is going to be to do the hardening. I'll do that at 1525F, quench in Parks 50 oil. Then I'll do the tempering at around 400 for a couple of hours. I got it all hardened and tempered. There I'm just grinding in the bevels. I decided to wait until the very end to grind in the bevels on the clip so that I'd have a good sharp edge on that clip bevel. Use my filing jig, put it in the vise, and a hand file to get the ricasso all lined up. Heated up the tang to soften it up. And I hand sanded the blade up to 400 grit. So for the guard, I'm using an old piece of wrought iron. At least I think it's wrought iron, about a 3/4 by 3/4 inch square bar. Really old and rusted with a lot of pitting in it. So I'm just measuring it out, cutting out the piece, and then grinding all the pits out to where I can get to some good steel to make my guard out of. So this is where an end mill would come in real handy. I don't have one, so just using my my benchtop drill press and hand file and filing the groove out for the guard to fit up. That was a long process, a lot of filing. Finally got it where it would fit down to about 1/2 inch or so from the ricasso, and that final 1/2 inch I hammered it on. I marked out, once I had it on, about the shape I wanted. Quite a bit of steel needed to be removed, so rather than just trying to use the grinder to get all that off, I cut the biggest chunks out on my portable bandsaw, and then I took it back over to the grinder for final shaping. So this handle I'm making is a stacked handle. It's going to have some nickel silver, some G10, some maple. That's a piece of axis deer antler. It's very similar to like a William Skagel style. William Skagel is a pretty famous knife maker, probably about 100 years ago. If you ever look at any of his knives, he's known for having this stacked handle using all kinds of various materials. So that deer antler is pretty much bleached out from sitting out in the field in the sun for I don't know how many years. So I'm using some potassium permanganate mixed with water, brushing that on to darken up the color on that deer antler. And I'm finishing out the last little bit of some G10 spacer, maple and nickel silver, and then the butt cap's going to be a piece of brass. I heated up the guard with the torch and used a small little ball peen hammer to bend it into the shape I wanted. And I brazed a little copper rod on the end of the tang. Copper rod's going to stick through the butt cap, and I'll peen that over. That way I'll have a mechanical fixture to hold the handle together as well as the epoxy. I let that epoxy dry overnight and then took it over to the contact wheel on my grinder to grind the handle out, get it profiled how I wanted it. So I used brass black on the guard and the butt cap to darken it up. I put an edge on it, got it razor sharp, then took it back over to the 2x72 grinder to grind in the bevel on the clip. Now I have a Bowie knife made from leaf spring with a stacked handle. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.